Hello students, today we will start with a new topic of grade 10, that is periodic table. I am sure you have studied about periodic table in grade 9 as well. So before I start with what is periodic table and what are the things you will study for grade 10, first I would like to have a recap of grade 9 periodic table. So in the grade 9 periodic table, we started with the first topic, that is Dauberey and Wright. So Dauberey was the first person who actually started periodic table. You have idea about what is triad, group of 3 elements. Then the second part was Newlands octave. In that he arranged the elements in the equilibrium of atomic mass, in which he said that every age element will show the similar property that of the first one. Then we have studied about Mendeleev. Now Mendeleev was the person who is also known as father of periodic table. Now what did Mendeleev do? He arranged the elements in the equilibrium order of atomic mass only, but his arrangement was almost correct. I say almost correct because there were few anomalies. Then we move on to the modern periodic table. The scientist's name was Henry Moseley. He started arranging the element. Instead of increasing order of atomic mass, he arranged them in the increasing order of atomic number. So this was the major difference between Mendeleev and Henry Moseley's modern periodic table. Now what is the modern periodic law? The physical and the chemical properties of any element are the periodic function of their atomic number. That means everything is related to the atomic number of that element. So what is the different thing you have studied in grade 10? Now whatever we have studied, Dauberey, Newlands. So these are the basic thing what you will be requiring for this chapter. But what is the major topic in this chapter? What we are going to study are nothing but trends in periodic table. Yes students, what are we going to study? Trends. Now what is this term trends? What is this trends? Trends is nothing but changes. We say now there is a trend in the market. Trend in the market like fashion market. So there is a trend. Trend means there is a change in the market of clothes or something like that. So what are we going to study in this trends in periodic table? Means what are the changes we are going to see in a periodic table? Say for example, what is happening with the left side of the elements in the periodic table? What is happening on the right side of the elements in the periodic table? That is what we are going to see. That is what changes we are going to see in the periodic table. Okay. So the first trend. Before I start with the first trend, let me tell you what exactly a rough draft of periodic table. Now in a periodic table we have two important things. That is, first is periods. Okay. So what are periods? Periods are the horizontal lines. You can see this horizontal rows. So there are total 7 periods. We have already studied this in 9th standard. Period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now my question is, why any element is placed in that period only? Now you know that lithium is in the second period, sodium is in the third period. I ask you a question, why lithium is placed in the second period and why sodium is placed in the third period? Why not sodium is in the second period, why not lithium is in the third period? I know, you know the answer. So the answer for this is, lithium has 2 electronic shells. So for that I draw the structure of lithium. Before that, you should know what is the atomic number of lithium. What is the atomic number of lithium? Very good. The atomic number of lithium is 3. What is the electronic configuration of lithium? So the electronic configuration of lithium is 2, 1. Now let us take the other example, sodium. Sodium is placed in group in period 3. So when sodium is placed in period 3, so let me write down the element atomic number. What is the atomic number of sodium? 11. Very good. What is the configuration, electronic configuration for sodium? So the electronic configuration for sodium is 2, 8, 1. 2, 8, 1. Now you can see the difference between the electronic configuration. For lithium we require 2 shells and for sodium we require 3 shells. So students, there is a major difference. Any element who has 2 electronic shells will be placed in the second period. Any element who has 3 electronic shells will be placed in the third period, and so on and so forth. So if I ask you, any element is placed in 7th period, how many electronic shell it has? Very good. It has 7 electronic shells. So are you getting my point? What are periods? So periods are horizontal rows, and the elements which are placed in the period, those are placed in those respective periods because they have that many number of electronic shells. I hope this point is clear to you all. So sodium has 3 electronic shell, it is in third period. Potassium has 4 electronic shell, it is in fourth period. So this is the first part, period. Now let us move on to what is the second part of this periodic table. So we studied the period. Now we will study columns, and there are 18 columns, and these columns are nothing but groups. So the columns, or you can say periods, are 7 and groups are 18. So we have in the model periodic table 7 periods and 18 groups. Now this question is very important from both point of view, students. One of the year this question was asked, there are how many number of periods in a periodic table? So you should know there are 7 periods and 18 groups. Okay, so this is very important. Now I asked you question, why any element is placed in that particular period. Similar question I will ask you, why any element is placed in that particular column only. So I take example of magnesium. So if magnesium is placed in group 2, we call it as group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 17, group 18, okay, like that. So if I say magnesium is placed in group 2, magnesium group 2, what? Magnesium, Mg. And if I say, I take another example, sodium. Sodium is placed in group 1. So group 1, Na, that is sodium. Okay, now again, like we know that any element is placed in a particular period. Similarly, there is a reason why any element is placed in particular group. So if I say magnesium is placed in group 2, what can be the condition or what is the factor which is responsible for it to place in group 2? Now if I say, again I will write down what I will write down the electronic configuration. 2,8,2 is for magnesium. For sodium it is 2,8,1. See the last number. What is that last number indicates? It indicates the number of valence electrons present in that. It indicates, so this is the last number. It is indicating the number of valence electron it has in the outermost shell. So in case of sodium, the valence electron in the outermost shell is 1. Therefore, it is placed in group 1. And for magnesium, the outermost electron are 2. Therefore, it is placed in group 2. So I hope you must have got the idea why any element is placed in group 1 or group 2 or group 3 and so on and so forth. Now the reason is number of valence electron it has. So as many valence electron it has in the outermost shell, it will be placed in the respective group. So if it has 1 electron in the outermost shell, first group, 2 electron, second group, 7 electron, either is 7A, in modern periodic terms we call it 17 group. And what is the group called 17 group? Very good, halogen, because it contains fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, so these are the elements which are present in group 7A or 7B. Clear? Are we clear till here? So can we actually start with the chapter? This was just a recap, students. So we are going to start with the new chapter, a new topic, that is trends in periodic table. Now, if I want to compare sodium and chlorine, I am telling that sodium and chlorine are present in the same period. Okay, they are in the same period. This becomes a similarity. But what is the difference in sodium and chlorine? We will say that sodium is a metal, chlorine is non-metal. Very good. Now, my next question is, if I want to compare 4 or 5 students in a class, what are the different ways by which I can compare them? First, I can compare them with the studies or the percentage. There is a factor by which I can, with a common factor I can compare, and I can arrange them in the increasing order or decreasing order. Second, height. I can arrange them in the increasing order of height or a decreasing order of height. Similarly, can I arrange the elements in any order, either in increasing or decreasing? Yes, I can. But then how? What is the factor by which I am going? I cannot check their academic score. I cannot check the height of any element, right? So what is that factor by which I can compare them and I can arrange them in increasing or decreasing order? Students, we are not going to take atomic number. Just by atomic number you cannot arrange them in increasing or decreasing order. There are some other factors also. So what are those factors which are influencing this whole periodic table? So the first factor that is influencing the periodic table or the elements in the periodic table. Any guesses, students? Yes, the one who has guessed correct. First is atomic size. Okay, can you see this? So the first is atomic size. The word itself, atomic size, gives you an idea what are we going to compare. Yes, we are going to compare the size of the atom. Now, can I compare the size of atom of first element or the last element? Yes, you can. Not a problem. Yes, obviously you can. But we are going to compare the size of the atom in two terms. One, in groups. So first we compare the atomic size of the element present in the same group. So like if I say group 1, I compare the elements which are present in the group 1 according to atomic size. Second, I can compare them in period, in the same period. So like in the same period, if I take period 3, starting element is sodium and the last element is chlorine. Okay, so in a period also I can compare the size of the element. Are we clear here? Any doubt here? Alright. So the first property is atomic size. So students, if you have a notebook and a pen, please write down this point. What is atomic size? What is atomic size? Atomic size is something which depends upon atomic radius. Atomic size is something which depends upon the atomic radius. Now when I say atomic radius, just imagine a circle. Just imagine a circle. Imagine the circle is nothing but an atom. But what is the radius? It is a distance between the center point to the outermost surface, or I can say to the circumference. Similarly, atomic size is nothing but depends upon atomic radius. Now what is atomic radius? Write down the definition for atomic radius, students. This is very important definition. So atomic radius is defined as the distance from the center of the nucleus. The distance from the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell, bracket we can also write valence shell or valence electronic shell, to the outermost shell, or in the bracket we can write down valence electronic shell, is called as atomic radius. So that is atomic radius. It's just the distance between the center of the nucleus. Make sure you write the point center of the nucleus to the outermost shell. So that is atomic radius. Now what is to do with atomic radius? How atomic size depends on atomic radius. Okay, students, pay attention. Now if I say I want to draw a circle of 3 cm radius, this is a diagram. If I want to draw a circle with 8 cm radius, what is happening when I am increasing the radius? Very good. The size of the circle is increasing. Similarly, if I increase the atomic radius of an element, what will happen? The atomic size will naturally increase. So, atomic size is directly proportional to atomic radius, or you can say, as the atomic radius increases, atomic size increases. As the atomic radius decreases, atomic size also decreases. Very simple concept. Atomic radius increases, atomic size increases, atomic radius decreases, atomic size also decreases. Now same thing, same concept we are going to see in each group, and then we are going to study in each period. Now for example, consider group 1. Students will compare or will only study either group 1 and group 2, and all the rest groups will follow the same concept. So group 1 and group 2 will study, and with the same reference you can understand, okay, everything is happening same with all the periods. So don't worry about all the groups also. So first we will study of the group 1. Which is the first element in the group 1? Hydrogen. And which is the last element in the group 1? That is francium. Okay. Now what are we going to do here is we are going to study we are going to compare the atomic size of each element. How are we going to compare? By atomic radius. How are we going to compare? By atomic radius. Now students, very important point is, in the initially only I said, what is happening when you go down the group? The number of valence shares are added up. Means if you see the first element, hydrogen, how many electronic shell it has? 1. Lithium 2. Sodium 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So as you go down the group, what is happening? The number of shells are added up. So when I say the number of shells are added up, so for example, first shell, then comes the second shell, then comes the third shell. So as the number of shells are added up, what is happening with the radius? See carefully, what is happening with the radius? So the radius is also naturally increasing. And if the radius increases, what will increase? Atomic size will also increase. So very important point is when you go down the group, the number of shells are added up. As the number of shells are added up, the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost shells keep on increasing. So as the radius increases, your atomic size will also increase. So how can I call it? How can I give a statement? I can say that as you go down the group in a periodic table, atomic size increases. Now this is an important give reason from exam point of view. They will ask you, down the group atomic radius increases. You have to give the reason. So what will be the reason for this? So the reason will be as you go down the group, the number of shells are added up. As the number of shells are added, the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost shell increases, which in turn increases the radius, and therefore atomic size also increases. So this is what happens in the group. Similarly with group 2, similarly with group 3, similarly with group 17. Any doubt here, students? Are we clear with the first atomic size as a trend? We have only done half part of atomic size, that we have only studied group. Now it's time for us to study periods. So group mein to we understood, I go down the group, atomic size increases. So let me test you whether you have understood or not. Sodium has more atomic size than potassium. True or false? I repeat, sodium has more atomic size, but the atomic size of sodium is more than atomic size of potassium. True or false? False. Why? Because potassium has 1 electron shell extra than sodium. Therefore, the atomic radius in potassium is more as compared to sodium, which means potassium has more atomic size than sodium. You all are correct. Very good. So that means you have understood. Let me add another type of questions which can be asked. Very favorite question. They will give you something like this. I will erase this. Okay. They will ask you a question like, say, so Na, Li, and Rb. Arrange them, or instead of Rb, they will ask you, say, potassium, and they will ask you arrange them, and they will ask you arrange them in the increasing order of their atomic size. So when I say they are asking you to arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic size, which means the smallest element or the smallest element in size will come first. So sodium, lithium and potassium, which is the element which will come first? Who has the lowest, or you can say less atomic size? Sodium, lithium or potassium. If you want, you can go to the periodic table. So the question is sodium, lithium and potassium. Which will have the least atomic size in this? Very good. Lithium. Second, sodium. Third, magnesium. So how are you going to, potassium. So how are you going to arrange them? So the arrangement will be lithium, sodium and potassium. So now they are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic size. Similarly, if they ask you decreasing order of atomic size, so first will be a sodium, potassium, then will be a sodium, and third will be lithium. So these are the hot favorite questions from both point of view, like give reason or arrange in the increasing or the decreasing order of atomic size. So are we clear with the first group, or you can say first part of the atomic size? Now let's move on to the periods. What happens in the periods? One important thing you should remember, if one of the character, or you can say one of the trend decreases down the group, it will increase along the period or from left to right. Okay? So atomic size, as we have studied, it decreases down the group. So according to that, what should happen with the atomic size along the period, or you can say across the period, you can say from left to right, it should decrease. Now the next question will be, sir, but the number of shells in each period remains the same. So if two elements have same number of shells, say it has 2 shells, okay, if both the electrons has 2 shells, then the size should remain same. What is the factor that is affecting the size? Because in the first part you said that the size will remain same, changes with the increase or decrease in the atomic, we can say radius. Now let us consider what happens in a period with the atomic size. What happens in the period? Now in the period you can see the number of shells, or you can say the electronic shells, say period 3. That means how many electronic shells it will have? 3 shells. So sodium has 3 shells, magnesium has 3 shells, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, salt. They have 3 shells in their 3 shells in their atom. Then what is different in their common electronic shells? In the beginning only I have told you that they have shells same, but the valence electron or the electrons in the outermost shell, that varies, and that plays an important role in the decrease of atomic size. Okay. Now how? Now first let us take an example of sodium. In the sodium, how many electrons and protons are there in the sodium? There are 11 protons and 11 electrons. In magnesium, 12 electrons, 12 protons. As you go ahead, you say chlorine has 17 protons and 17 electrons. Are you clear with this point? Okay. Now what happens ahead after this? After this, I am going to say a new term or new concept which you must have not heard. That is something called as nuclear pull. Something called as nuclear pull. Now my dear students, what is nuclear pull? Pull to samajh gaya. Pull is like attracting something. Nuclear pull. Now nuclear pull is nothing but when the electrons are pulled or attracted towards nucleus are called as nuclear pull. Is the nucleus pulling the electrons? No. Then what is that? What is present inside the nucleus? Correct. Protons. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged. So protons will pull the electrons towards itself, and that pull is nothing but nuclear pull. Okay, so the nuclear pull is there. So what happens with the nuclear pull? How nuclear pull affects? So when you go from left to right of the periodic table, the number of protons are added up. Now this number of protons pulls the electron towards itself with the strong power. So as number of protons are added, the pull becomes more and more. Okay, and when the nuclear pull increases, what happens with the size? So what happens is, see for example, in this there are 17 protons. So we are taking example of chlorine. So there are 17 electrons. Okay, in the last shell it has 7 electrons. Okay, in the first shell it has 2, in the second shell it has 8 electrons, in the last shell it has 7. Okay, what happens protons? It try and pull this electron towards itself. And due to this, what happens as the nuclear pull increases, the size of this radius, it shrinks. Okay, so shrinks is the word. Shrink is the word. The size of the atom shrinks. Why? Because the nuclear pull increases. Nuclear pull attracts the electron towards itself, and the outermost shell tends to go a little inside, and due to which the radius decreases. Alright, so down the group atomic size increases, along the period or across the period, or you can say left to right, atomic size decreases. Okay, thank you so much.